All right, thank you guys so much for being here for our weekly home-based business class. We are super, super excited about our lineup. Our good friend Shannon Hudson has decided to bless us with her presence today. My team would not be what it is without her. We go to tons of her trainings here in Michigan. We're so appreciative of her always being Team Young Living. She is so inspirational. She's so down to earth, and we just love her, and we're greatly appreciative of her starting us out today. So we're going to hear, again, we're focusing on how we got into here and why we've chosen to do the business, and then we'll give you some data after that. But we're going to start by listening to Shannon's story, and with that, I will turn it over to her.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for asking me. I appreciate it. So she said I have like 14 minutes and then we waited. So I think I have 12 minutes now. And for those of you that have heard me speak, 12 minutes just ain't going to be enough, but I will keep it short. So my story starts before Young Living. So when I was 18 years old, first time ever, I walked into a multi-level marketing room where somebody was up there drawing the circles and telling us the possibilities. And when I was growing up, we were poverty stricken. I mean, we were those broke people that stand in line waiting for other people, you know, to help us out. And I just thought that was the reality. And he was up there drawing those circles and he's like, oh, if you do this, you could make, and I don't even remember what the number is right now, but I went, oh my gosh, like I don't have to stay broke. And it was truly the first time somebody had ever spoken in my life that I could have more, be more than what I had. And it was one of those aha moments. And I remember we enrolled in the company and we did everything we were told to do. And we did it all so wrong, like so wrong. I was angry. I was cranky. I told people how stupid they were if they weren't doing what I wanted to do. I was just all the things. And I remember my upline kept giving me the same book over and over. And it was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I would say, okay, I read it, I'm ready. And he'd be like, well, what'd you get from it? I'd be like, oh, you know, all kinds of good stuff. And he'd be like, how about you read it again? How about you read it again? Because I had so much to learn. So if you are looking at a home-based business, I need you to understand that there's things that you have to learn along the way. Because people look at other people like, oh, she's just so lucky. No, we had to learn stuff along the way. We had to learn a lot of people skills. And we did that company for 5 years straight. I talked to a ton of people, and I was really good at getting people to sign up. I'm a chit chatter, you know, I'll just keep talking till you get in. And, but I couldn't get people to duplicate what I was doing. I wasn't in love with the product. I was in love with the concept of what was possible. And so we were in for 5 years, and we went to a big conference, had to fly all the way out to Utah. We went to this huge conference, and it's like super late. We've been here all day. It's day 3. The speaker gets up, and they're like, if what you've been doing for the last 5 years hasn't got you what you want, you need to do something else. And the whole audience stood up, and they're like, so excited. And my husband and I looked at each other, we're like, we've been doing this for 5 years, and we haven't gotten what we want. So that started a journey for me, looking for a company that I could have that. I didn't need to be a millionaire. That was never in my radar of possibilities, but I needed to make enough so I could stay home and do the mommy thing. I have always wanted to be a homeschool mommy. Like right now, homeschooling is happening because people didn't have a choice, but I was that mom. I went to school for career day, dressed up pregnant, pushing a baby carriage. I'm like, I knew what I wanted. But in order to stay home and do the mommy thing, I had to have a couple $100 extra coming in. I was actually looking for around 500. And if I could figure out how to get that extra 500, we could at least break even in our bills. And that's what my dream was. And we did a ton of different companies. And I can tell you right now, I believe all of those companies probably would have worked if I was ready, if I had invested more in training myself on learning people skills and learning, you know, to do the hard things instead of just the things that are fun, because we tend to focus on the part we like, and we're like, oh, the other stuff will just happen. And I hear people say all the time, well, I just want it to happen organically. Okay, and you shouldn't have signed up because that wasn't organic either. I'm here to tell you, there is, when you're deciding if you're going to do a home-based business, you have to decide that you're willing to do the hard things. You're willing to work it when you don't want to work it. You're willing to do the things. Like, I got to be honest with you, I would much rather be in my backyard swimming, playing in my pool. My hubby got me a pool. We're loving the pool. I already got the pool hair going on because I was up there earlier today. It's what I want to do. But you got to be willing to do the hard things even when it's inconvenient. And when Young Living came across, by the time we were introduced to this world, we had already decided network marketing didn't work. Home-based businesses were not for us. We had made a decision years before it, that the way we're going to make that money was we were cleaners. We had a home-based business, and we cleaned. We actually cleaned for doctors' offices. So we had a staff of people that went out and did it, and our break-even point. So this is us working our butt off at a home-based business. We were working all the hours, had the staff of stuff, couldn't go on vacation because if you're not there, your business doesn't happen. And our break-even, like what we actually got, was $13,000 a year, doing around 60 hours a week. We homeschooled with my kids coming from business to business, cleaning up after other people not getting their stuff done. I mean, it was horrendous, but the check was there. And we knew that this is how, because we can take the kids with me, we had our thing. So when my friend introduced me to this business, it was not because I wanted a business. I already knew they didn't work. It was because I fell in love with the products. The oils were put on me. I got to experience that. And I am here to tell you my life was radically and dramatically changed. Like in an instant, it never went back. And for me, it was the missing piece. See, all those times when I talked and I shared with people and I tried to build a business, I wasn't passionate about the product. I was passionate about the possibility. And with this Young Living, with this business, it tied them together for me. I had that passion and possibility, and I had products that did it. And when I first got in, I totally promise you, I had no intention of building, but I knew I had to share what I had been given. My life was changed. I do not tell other people. So I made a conscious decision, a deal between me and God, to take care of the guilt. I will tell one person a week. I'll mention it to one person a week because people ought to know. And that's exactly what I did. I talked to one person a week. With each person, I handed them an application. I said, here, you want to get yourself some of the juice, and you want to get, no, it was an everyday oil kit in the raindrops back then. And I had them get both things, had it shipped to their house, not because it was a good business strategy, although now I understand it was, but because my husband had forbid me to ever sign up in another network marketing company. And I know that sounds like, your husband forbid you, how could you? Listen, he could not handle the up and down of every time I got in a company. I go to a Tupperware party, I'm like, I'm going to sell Tupperware, it's going to be great, I'm going to make so much money, and I get so happy because now I can stay home and do the mama thing. Oh, I got into Osborne books, it's going to be great. Oh, I did Pampered Chef, I did. And y'all, I did them all. Because somebody invited me to something. He said, baby, you can't go to that first party, you're going to come home with a first kit. You can't get emotional up and down anymore. I'm like, babe. So when I did the oils, I didn't let him know what was happening. It was just my own little thing. We had some stuff going on with my mom, which is a whole nother story, but I knew I had to tell people, get your own stuff, because Brian cannot see it shipped to my house. I cannot deliver that stuff to you. You know, that's not going to happen. And that was my first, so month one, I signed up 4 people. One person a week, signed up 4 people. But I told them all the same thing that I had committed to. When something good happens to you, have the common courtesy to tell other people. Don't keep this to yourself. Next month, I got an accidental check. My check was for around $400. And I was like, oh, baby. Now, my husband did not find out about that check. I got to be honest with you. I spent that sucker on more oils and some juice. Like, I was already addicted. I loved what I was doing. It was fun. And I'm a smart girl. I got 4 people got me $400. I'll just sign up 4 people a month. It will keep me my stuff without having to take it from my groceries or my kids' shoes or, life. So I did, 1 person a month. My second check with the company was over $1,600. And I said, what? And my husband knew about this check because I was at the driveway when I opened up the envelope, and I'm like, woo! Running up the driveway, going, honey. It was insane. And I will be honest, I thought it was a mistake. I'm like, nobody makes money in this stuff. There's just no way. It's got to be a mistake. But we were in such a financial situation. I'm like, it's a mistake. I'm going to cash that check anyway so they can get in line with all the other collectors. Because we're going to get $13,000 a year. That was a huge $1,600. Are you kidding me? That was just such a game changer. And I remember calling my sponsor and said, what just happened? And she's like, I have no idea. And I kept calling up, and what I found out is the way the structure works is they have this amazing upfront money. And those 4 people that I was talking to the first month, they went out and they did the same thing. They just had the common courtesy to tell just 2 or 3. We're not talking about thousands of people. When people think of network marketing, we always think it is this huge, thousands of people you got to do stuff with. No, you're going to talk to 4 or 5 people. You're going to get yourself out there, and you're going to do that consistently. 4 or 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, whatever it takes, and you're going to get them to do the same thing. That passion, what we have that is unique and different in this particular business is people fall in love and they get addicted and they share. So I, with intention, said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell the world that I had a choice. I could either clean toilets for a living or I could save lives. Let me think this one through. And we literally sold all of our cleaning. Don't do this. This is a horrible business model. But we sold off our business. We sold all of our contracts back to the people that were working them. And I went full-time in Young Living. I said, I'm going to do this. This is my dream. This is my vision. And that next month, with intention of building, I went out there. And so it was 4 people month 1, 4 people month 2. My 3rd month in the company, I did 5. So like, I'm going full-time, but I only got 5 people. But the difference is I partnered with those people that had already got in. And our 3rd month in the company, we hit a rank called silver. And the average silver in Young Living, I'll post the income disclosure statement because we have to when we talk about money. But the average silver in Young Living makes around $2,000 a month. My 3rd check with this company was over $2,000. We went on building with intention with those partners. Our 3 months later, 2 months later, our 5th month in, we hit the rank of gold, and we have continued. Right now, we're at the rank of diamond, pushing for our crown diamond by November. And our life physically is different, mentally is different, financially, completely different world. Anything that I choose to do, I can go do. But when we went diamond, my husband was able to buy this big, huge, black, beefy truck. Big old wheels. I have to climb up into this thing. And that was what he was able to do. And that was not something that we even, when I started dreaming about the possibilities, that wasn't something on the list. And exactly what you were saying about the class that I did back 7 years ago. We used to be the people that needed scholarships for our kids to be able to go to camp. And there were times where 2 of my kids out of 4 would get a scholarship. And you go, how do you explain that to the other 2? But we were so broke, I could not make that happen. It was shoes or camp. Here, I got to get you a coat for school. And now we're able to supply finances to multiple churches in our areas and able to say that any kid that needs a scholarship, you let us know. We'll take care of that. When they're having, when they go overseas, they go on mission trips. Same thing. We will take care of what people are missing for their mission trips. If you think it's good enough, you want them there, we'll cover the difference. And that is such, money just for money's sake, that's one thing. But money in the hands of good people can change the world. And for me, that's the vision. That's what I see when I think that Royal Crown Diamond or the top rank in any company. It's the number of lives that are changed, financially, spiritually, emotionally, the whole kit and the caboodle. So hopefully I was able to say that in the right amount of time. And just so you guys know, if I end up being not online later, it's because my internet's been hinky. So I'm not dipping on purpose, but I'm going to try to hang out with you. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. That was so powerful. As usual, love you so much, Shannon. Thank you again for being here. I'm just going to take 5 minutes for those that are on here that don't know me and just share a little bit of my story. My story is very different, and we do try to make sure that you have different versions of things on here. And so I come from the automotive world. I'm college educated. I was making $40,000 a year when I started my real career here in the automotive industry. And I too also did a couple of network marketing companies. The first one that I was in, they went under because they were unethical and they didn't work. And that was a health and wellness company. And then the second one I was in for a while, and the model just didn't work. Going to hotels and the whiteboards and all that stuff, it just didn't work for me, and I never had an emotional connection. But just like Shannon, I had that vision, like someday I'm going to find something and I'm going to work for myself. And I thought, okay, one day I'm going to do real estate and I'm going to have some houses. And just one day never, ever, ever came. And so I just stayed doing what I was doing, living the American dream. And some financial things came into my life, and those financial things actually propelled me further to where I am now. And that's a 6-figure earner in the automotive industry. That's what I do. That's where I come from. But with that comes, you hit your 30s and everyone has high cholesterol or high blood pressure because we have Buffalo Wild Wings and pizza during the week, and we start our day with 3 cups of coffee and neon colored energy drinks. And so I was relatively young in my 30s in 2012, and I had high blood pressure. And 6 months later, I had gut issues. And 6 months later, I had hormone issues. And 6 months later, I was in 2 accidents in a period of 6 months, and I had body pain. And after all of that, of course, I had mood issues, right? I was getting depressed. And so I was looking for something. I was talking to everyone else, and everyone else in their 30s were getting body parts taken out and were depressed. And I was like, why does everyone in their 30s feel like they're 50? This doesn't, and I think that God put that stuff in our bodies for a reason. I think it's supposed to be there. So I'm going to find a different way to do this. So the first thing I did was join a boot camp, and I lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks because by then, working 80 hours a week, I was clinically obese for what the chart says or whatever at that time. And I started eating right, and I started spending $200 a month on vitamins from Amazon and Vitamin World and Vitamin Shop, and none of it worked. I found out later most of it has sawdust in it. I grabbed a couple of essential oils. Those didn't work. And then some of my friends started posting on Facebook in 2014, I'm diffusing lavender and it smells amazing. And I was like, whatever, they're just trying to sell me something. But there was one person that I trusted. I went to her home party to not buy essential oils because essential oils didn't work, but I needed to associate with people. And Panaway was placed on my body, and my life was radically changed as well. I was like, people, this is different. Now, I'm not really that crunchy, but my sister kind of does that stuff, and my stepmom does. And so I booked my home party before I bought my kit because I didn't have $200 sitting in my account at that time, just because that's how I manage my money. But I was like, I'm going to book my home party, and these people need to know. So I'm another person that I just shared because I just had that same belief. I was like, there has to be something more. This is it, and the world needs to know. After that, I was introduced to Ninja, which totally changed all of my vitamin and mineral levels. And 2 weeks later, Joy, which really helped my mood. And again, I was like, people need to know this. And so for me, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. And I'm still in the process of doing it full time. But there's been so many other benefits that I've gotten from this. And again, that's the reason why I share. I just got notification of a friend who has a father that's having some issues. I got to mail out some stuff today. I asked her for her address, and I'm going to send her some stuff because I have it, because it's extra, and I know that it's going to bless people. Like, I give away so much stuff for free. It's ridiculous. I would give it all away for free, but at some point in time, I reach a limit. That's why I have to do a business. That's just what I have to do to make sure that the world can get it. I just don't have enough money to give it all free to the world. So that's a little bit of my story. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sheila for her to share with you guys for about 10 minutes or so. And then after that, I promise for the green people, we're going to talk some stats, and we're going to put that income disclosure statement up at the end as well.
Thank you so much. I am so happy and grateful to be able to share my story with people because, and I know Shannon can relate to this, anybody who's a part of Young Living already can relate to this, that our lives have changed so much since being a part of Young Living in so many different areas. It could be the area of our health. It could be the area of our finances. For most of us, it's both the area of health and the area of finances. And I think of a scripture that says, and I'm paraphrasing, but it says, we can't help but share. And in that case, they're talking about the gospel. But for me, it's like, I couldn't help but share about Young Living. after the changes that were made in my life physically initially. And now financially, I love sharing that story as well. So again, I'm Sheila Sherman, and I am living in Canada. I started my business in Canada, here in Canada, but I am from Detroit, Michigan. And so I feel right at home with these ladies, even though I've never met Tashena in person, but you can fall in love with people that have the same vision that you have. And I know that we share that same vision of being able to help people, not just help ourselves, but help people to create wealth, help people to revitalize their health. And when you find your tribe, you just automatically resonate with each other. Same with Shannon. I've seen her once in person. She doesn't know me, but we know each other. We know each other because we know our hearts, because we share the same heart. And the reason why I bring that up is because that's one of the benefits of being with a company like this. That's one of the benefits. You find your tribe, you find those people that resonate with you. You find those people that will, I want to say push, but that's not the word I want, will help motivate you, that will encourage you, that know what you're going through. And that's huge. A lot of us get that from our families, and then many of us may not get that from our families. And if we can get it from both places, our families and from the business, then that's a bonus, right? So my story starts 12 years ago, and I was that crunchy person. I was that person that, I had this expression of 6 kids, and I would always say to my kids, no, we don't do drugs. But I'm talking about over-the-counter drugs, right? And I'm talking about going to the store and buying. I'm like, no, kids, we don't do drugs. And so I already had that mindset of 2 things. One, I wanted to be home with my kids as a homeschooling mom. I also wanted to help bring in income. My husband being the sole family income earner, but I wanted to have that part of me to express as well as being an income earner. And I wanted to stay at home with my kids. I didn't want to have to choose between the 2. And so I also was that person who had been just toyed around with multi-level marketing, not really taking it seriously until Young Living. And what made me take Young Living seriously was the fact that I experienced huge health benefits once I started using the product. And I love essential oils, and I fell in love with essential oils. Unlike Shannon, who was very probably kind and nice about sharing, I was shoving oils in everybody's faces back 12 years ago that I ran across. If you had a sneeze, you got an oil from me. If you had any kind of health complaint, I was like, there's an oil for that. And I was shoving oils in their faces. And, they actually appreciate it. So it's not as bad as it sounds. But I was pretty assertive about what these oils can do. And my husband finally said to me, honey, you can't keep giving away all our oils. And I thought, oh yeah, okay, well, then maybe I will share as a business. And that was when I started my being serious about a home-based business. And I want to highlight a couple things that Shannon said. Shannon said, it's work. And I want to let people know that this is not get rich quick. That's one of those myths that I think Tashena might be bringing up at some point, that it's just like, oh, we could just go into this and, just let it make a bunch of money for us. But that's good. That's a good thing, because that mentality of get rich quick in any industry is usually not correct, right? It's usually not really how things go. And so in order to be successful. And so to be successful in a home-based business, it takes effort. I don't even like to call it work, because it doesn't feel like work, because I'm sharing my passion, I'm sharing what I know, I'm sharing what I love, and I love everything about the process. So it's not work, but it definitely has some effort to it. And that's how you know that it's worth it. The effort makes it worth it. And you know, anything in life, whether it's education, whether it is parenting, whether it is relationships and marriages, business, everything takes effort. And then you get the payoff. So the payoff is kind of what we're talking about right here, because the payoff, again, health, but also monetarily, of course, when you put the effort in. And I rank at platinum, and Tashena's going to put in that income disclosure statement with the average of what different ranks make. And but here's something that Shannon touched on that I just want to highlight. She said so many good things, and I hope she's still on, because I'm really, really grateful and appreciate her sharing her story. But she talked about the ability to give back. And this is a time, I think, right now in life that we want, that many of us, we want to give back into our communities. We want to give back to our churches. We have been so blessed that having that ability to give back, and oftentimes we got to focus on ourselves first. That's okay. However you choose to do it. Sometimes you got to get your own health together before you can give back and help people with their health. Sometimes you got to get your own finances together before you can give back and help people financially. We help people financially two ways. And this is, I'd say three ways. And this is what's exciting to me about Young Living and about this home-based business. One of the ways that we give back, you can do like Shannon talked about, presenting scholarships, giving to your favorite charities, all of that, you're giving back, right? That's the way we're kind of used to giving back, is saying, these are the things that I care about, and I want to give into those areas. Another way that we give back is by introducing people to this business, to introduce this model, this business model, this financial business model of sharing these awesome products and being able to upgrade or up level in their own finances. When I introduce people to Young Living, that's one of the main things on my mind. I look at people and I go, if this could help your family make $500 more per month, $1,000 more per month, wherever you're able to put that effort and willing to put that effort, then that is me giving back. That's us giving back to others. I love giving back to others that way, because guess what? Then they can go on and do that same thing. In fact, as they are giving back to others by introducing them to Young Living, as I'm giving back to others, introducing them to Young Living, then I'm also receiving. They're also receiving. It is a beautiful, beautiful cycle to be a part of. And it just warms my heart to be able to do that. And then another way that isn't talked about a lot, and I won't go into it a lot, of giving back, is it's a way of giving back to my family, as this has become a family business for us. And my adult kids are also a part of my business. And so I help to give back by helping to create this generational wealth. And right now, you might be hearing that phrase a lot, generational wealth, right? This is a willable business as well. And so when we get involved with Young Living, it is so much more than ourselves. It's bigger than ourselves, so much bigger than ourselves. And if we approach our business that way, then as we are giving, we are also receiving. And that's the beauty of Young Living and having this home-based business. I think that was what I wanted to say. Oh, I know, I wanted to say one other thing. And again, Shannon mentioned, going to this network marketing, that network marketing. Tashena, same thing, right? Myself, I've been involved in a few as well. But we were looking for solutions. That's why we did it, right? We were looking for solutions either for our health, looking for solutions for our finances, and you might be looking for solutions as well. This is a time where people are looking for solutions for both of those, both their health and their financial status. And so this is a solution. This was a solution for us. And I think that this could definitely be a solution for those of you who are on live or those of you who are watching the replay of this. But I just wanted to highlight, we found our solution. We found our solution. It's been more than 12 years, I think, for Shannon. No more hopping around from network marketing company to network marketing company. It's been 12 years for me. No more hopping around from network marketing company. We found our solution. And I know that anybody here is not only open, but wanting to help you find your solution too, if you're looking for your solution. And we help each other find that solution. That's the beauty of this business. So.
All right, thank you so much, Sheila. With that, I'm gonna jump into the actual presentation we have with some stats and some data that go along with some of the things that have already been shared. Now, this slide I really, really love because these are companies that were created during what we refer to as the Great Recession. So these are companies that were actually created in 2008 through 2010. And so meditating on this, people might be thinking, oh, this is not a time to create a business. But the reality is exactly what Sheila mentioned. If you are feeling a need and giving a solution, this is actually the best time to start a business. And these are companies that came up with solutions in 2008 and 2010. And now they are multi-million-dollar companies. How many of these do you know and how many do you use? Like, I've been using WhatsApp while I'm still on this presentation right now. I use Instagram constantly. Groupon is my favorite way to get my pampering done, to try out some new places. Square is used all the time. When we were traveling, if I went to another city, I was going to use Lyft or Uber. Most people are on, especially moms, are on Pinterest all of the time, and Venmo is used very frequently. So just meditating on this. An actual down market is a great time to start a business. But why network marketing? Again, a lot of us have gotten to a negative view of it, right? But there are some benefits of it. And when you do it the right way, there can be lots of benefits. So some of those benefits are you can build it part-time and anytime. You have people from different states and countries on here. And a lot of us are doing this in their spare time. I currently still have a full-time job. I worked my full-time job from home today. And then I did a couple things with my team today. They were from other states and other countries. And now I'm doing this part-time. And you can build it from anywhere, again, all over the world, especially now. Everyone knows how to Zoom, everyone knows how to connect, so we can all connect from all over the world. You can launch it in general, a network marketing company, for as little as $500 to $1,000. With Young Living, you have an entry fee usually of about $200 to $300, and then you always want to get started with some form of education right away as well. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. There are so many people on this call that we're just friends, but we're helping each other build our businesses. And your business partners have a vested interest in you. When I sit down with the corporate individual that I coach with on a weekly basis, and I give him my goals, what is included in my goals is how many people on my team I'm going to help to reach their goals. That's how I achieve my goals. You can create enough tax deductions alone to make it worthwhile. This is one of my favoriteest things. I love traveling all over the world and having it tax deductible because I'm usually building my business when I do that. And I made a really big jump in about 5 years, like increasing my income 2.5 times in the automotive industry to be a 6-figure earner. And I can tell you that my last promotion that I got, I probably would have saw 0% of it if I didn't have a business that I had tax deductions, because it would have all been eaten up by me going into a new tax bracket. You can learn it while you earn it. This is a process. It was mentioned that this is not something that you do overnight. This is a 4 to 7 year career. It's probably going to take me 7 years in order to make the transition to full time, just because of the responsibilities that I had and some of the things that I've been through. But I'm making a good income right now. I make enough to be able to bless anyone with oils anytime I can. I had somebody yesterday message me and say, how much is this oil? And I had 3 of them on hand, and I told them the price, and they said, okay. I threw it in the mail to them anyways, because it's not going to do any good in a box. I'd rather them just have it and give it to them and be blessed because I just have it. So I love the fact that I have the income to just bless people with oils when they need it at any point in time. You can earn an extra $500, $1,000, $5,000 or more a month, and you have people on this call that are doing that. With time and success, your income will be produced by hundreds, perhaps thousands. Now, here's some network marketing myths, some of the things that we need to get out of our head so that we can move forward. Getting in on the ground floor is the best path to success in any network marketing company. Network marketing businesses are like any other businesses, and 95% of them fail within the first 5 years. So that is definitely not true. And depending on the circumstances and things that are going on, there could be better times to get in. Right now is one of the best times to get into health and wellness because everybody's looking for health and wellness. Young Living is in year 26, and it is having exponential growth after a year of exponential growth. Myth number 2, network marketing is an opportunity for someone who is not doing well financially to make a lot of money. And the reason why this is a myth is because it's a half truth. Yes, it is an opportunity for someone who isn't doing financially well. Yes, anyone can make it. Yes, someone who has a low income can get in here and make a high income, but it's also an opportunity for someone like me who makes 6 figures, but got tired of having a job that actually physically made me sick from working 80 hours a week at times. It's an opportunity for me to gain my time freedom. And that is the reason why I'm working as hard as I can within the next 6 to 8 months to transition to doing this full time. Network marketers succeed by being at the right place at the right time. This is a myth because you are paid on your effort. As was mentioned earlier, you absolutely get paid off of what your effort are. There are people who have had the skill set in social media or in blogging or what have you, who have been able to succeed in a very short amount of time by just leveraging their skills. It had nothing to do with being in the right place at the right time. And the big guys make all their money off the little guy. Again, this is something that just gets thrown around. It is just a complete myth. The way network marketing works, multi-level marketing, you do get a percentage off of your team, but the way that it is structured is you get the most from the amount of effort that you put in. So if you work harder than perhaps the person who brought you in, you will make more money than that person. Now, this is a slide that talks about direct selling sales by region. So this is an industry. It is tracked. It is legit. And it is bringing in billions of dollars every year. In 2017, you can see that this industry was at $85 billion in Asia, $38 billion in Europe, $36 billion in North America, $27 billion in South America, and $1.8 in Africa. And then you can see the chart next to it that talks about those percentages. Now, why health and wellness? So we all talked about there is a vast different number of network marketing companies that you could decide to do. But the health and wellness industry is a $4.75 trillion industry, and it is growing at a rate of 6.4%. And it is a vast, diverse industry. Included in that is traditional and complementary medicine, preventive and personalized medicine and public health, healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss, physical activity, wellness tourism, spa economy, personal care, beauty and anti-aging, and more. And Young Living touches every single one of those areas. Which brings us to our next slide, why Young Living? So Young Living owns their own farms. I've been blessed to go to the farm in Croatia. That was one of my tax-deductible trips that I loved, and the one in Utah a couple of times. That gives them industry-leading research and testing and a seed-to-seal promise that's unmatched in the industry. They are in charge of the complete process, from the seed to when it's bottled and shipped to you. There are upwards of 17 testing. There's just no comparison whatsoever. Year 26 of experience, and there was like 11 years of research prior to that. Low startup costs, we talked about that. And the largest selections of essential oils, oil-infused products, and toxic-free lifestyle brands. And then again, we mentioned some of the ranks, and if you're watching the replay or if you haven't been around for long, it probably meant absolutely nothing to you. So we did want to show you what is the average monthly income at each rank. So when you're starting out, that average income is $26 around. The rank of star is around $75. The rank of senior star, $235, the rank of executive around $425, the rank of silver, which is the rank that I'm at, is on average about $2,000, the rank of gold, $5,600, the rank of platinum, which is Sheila's rank, $13,872 per month on average, the rank of diamond, which is where Shannon is, $35,000 about per month. And the rank that Shannon is going for, Crown Diamond, around $64,000 per month. And then our highest rank, Royal Crown Diamond, which we will have a speaker that is a Royal Crown Diamond on our next call we have scheduled, $144,000 per month, which is more than I make in a year. And that is the data that we wanted to show to you guys and share with you guys at this point in time. If there are any questions or additional comments that were put in the chat, you guys can feel free to unmute yourselves and share with us, or if somebody who's been reading the chat wants to read them off. And then of course, Sheila or Shannon, if there's anything you want to recap and review, you can feel free to do that as well.
Hey Shannon, so hi from Ecuador. So what would you give your top tip for someone who's just getting rolling and maybe a little shy, not attacking people at the beginning, maybe just the opposite, kind of been holding ourselves back? Top tip for
my number one tactic, my number one tip is just start talking to people. And when I say that, I'm not saying go out and say, use my oils. I'm saying just start conversation, start being friendly, getting yourself out there. Because most of us have a very small sphere of people and we don't really step outside that. So if somebody in your sphere says no, we're like, oh, I can't talk to anybody else. And then we just won't do anything. But if you will just put yourself out there, lately we've gotten where we're able to go to parks and stuff. So we've been out and about hanging out at parks, and there are like oodles of people in the middle of a pandemic. There are oodles of people out at the park, and literally just making eye contact with people, they will come over and start chit-chatting because people are super lonely right now. So people are out there, they're looking for friendship. Remember, network marketing, one of the things we have is relationship. So even people that don't choose to actually build, just creating relationships, they can be a lifelong user, and we need those people anyway. So just put yourself in a position where you're talking to people, every single day. It is all about consistency. If you will find 2 people to chit chat with a day and you will do that every single day, you will end up at Royal Crown Diamond at some point. If you're going to do 15 people today and do nothing for a month, oh, it's going to be hard for you. It is all about consistency, what you can do on a regular basis.
Beautiful. Thank you. First time I got to catch you live, but I love your enthusiasm, passion, and purpose together.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Can I add to that question? And you're probably already using your oils, but use your oils and share those stories. And the reason why I was like, you need this oil is because I experienced such health benefits for myself and my 6 kids. I couldn't help but share and tell people. And it was always in a tactful way, but it's because I used them, I learned about them, and I used them. So the more we use our oils and the more stories we have, I think that that's going to help to just create that atmosphere where you just, even if you're shy, you're like, I'm hearing that you have this issue or you have something going on with you. Maybe you want to try the oils. I don't know if if it will do the same for you, but this is how they helped me. And so, that's a way to get people interested without shoving it down their throats.
Can I ask a question? Okay, so I am working through my scarcity mentality and my poverty mentality, okay? So how do I attract abundance and trickle that to my downline? Because I know of my negative view of money, I know that that's something that I've trickled to my community because of my scarcity mentality. But I want to change that.
Spend money. Spend money.
Well, one of my big advice is literally the things we say to ourselves. Consciously choose to change some of it. And there is more than enough time, more than enough energy, more than enough money. And I have a prayer that I pray all the time. Is Father God, draw to me the people that need this, the people that want this, and the people that will duplicate this. So I know when I'm out and about, that I am like a magnet drawing to me the people that are supposed to be in that moment. So I have zero fear when I'm talking to them. And I know it is the moment. Right now, I am supposed to be sharing the possible abundance with this person because maybe nobody else will. So it changes it. Instead of what can I get out of this? It's this moment, this person, I'm supposed to give them the same blessing that God gave to me. We have more than enough pouring overflow that we got to spread that around. So doing that, and then like I have always, this is just a list of different affirmations I can reach all over, and they're always there. And so affirmations on being happy after everything that went through the hospital. I have some issues with some of that right now, with positive self-talk, with just everything. So you need to go through and write down, say 20 things that are, there is more than enough, that we're supposed to have the cattle on 1,000 hills. Like we are supposed to have enough to take care of everybody else. And so changing that. And then I just want to point this one quickie, because I know you're in a hurry. Less than 1 per every single state in the United States. So we're just talking US right now. Less than 1% of the people have ever heard of Young Living in every single state. And that's according to Young Living's own calendar where they have the percentages. So if less than 1% of the people have ever heard of us, there's more than enough people too. And we have to be about the business of telling them there are options. There are people that are miserable right now, and we have answers. So I need to be about the business of telling them and drawing to me the people that need this, the people that want this, and the people that will duplicate it, because Father will move in and move things for us and make that happen. So that's my tidbits. You can go now.
This is Carrie. I have a quick question here of a little bit of a, can't think of the word that I run into. I've recently been really enrolling people. Where did they come from? Sharing and it does take a while. I kept hearing sharing and with people, and I thought it's not working. I'm not hearing anything. In June, 4 people literally came out of nowhere. Well, 3 of them been talking to. I'm like, wow, what happened? What? Okay, I was like, really? Like, oh. So what's happening with these people, and I've shared, they all 4 got on Essential Rewards. They still think, if I may say this, I'm the Avon lady. They tell me what they want. Carrie, I want to order this month.
I know.
I get, but I know it takes a while. It took me, but I never went to the person who enrolled me and said, I say, treat this like an thank God a lot of people know about Amazon. So I'd say, do you have Amazon? They go, yes. I'm like, yes. I said, treat it just like an Amazon account. It's your account. It belongs to you. You can order when you want, what you want, and it gets delivered right to your door. Carrie, there's an oil I like to order this month. I did tell the one guy though, just the other day, I said, treat your account like your bank account. It's very personal. I said, this is your personal account. You keep track of it. I will help you though, anytime. I go, let's get together, I'll go over it. It took me a while. So that's a block. And also building relationships. This isn't just enrolling someone, getting them on Essential Rewards. Woo, you got to build some relationships, you know? So that's kind of like a struggle where I'm at with the building that actual relationship.
I can so relate to you. I feel the same way. I know that Tashena's probably trying to pull her hair, because every other minute I'm like, Tashena, how do I do this? How do I do that? And she's so busy. But if it weren't for her, I would never, ever hear about Young Living. I used it once and I'm hooked. When I tell you hooked, my oils were gone in like less than a week. I promise. I used them all in like a week. And now I'm back to, I need to get more. You know, it's amazing, amazing products. I have to say.
Yeah, so for Carrie, I mean, I think, and I know that Shannon preaches this too, in the first 90 days, you should be putting that effort in, right? But you just direct them to where they need to go. You know, a great, one of my favorite phrases is, and Alicia hears this all the time, what the customer service say? Before I jump in, did you at least try to fix the problem yourself? And then if you did, okay, yeah, then I'll help you, right? But you're supposed to, because Shannon mentioned in the beginning, this is running a business is the opposite of what we were taught. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort in the beginning. So that first 90 days, you do have to hold their hand while they understand Essential Rewards and to help them get their first 3 or 4 people. So
I had one lady tell me, can you order it for me? And I automatically thought of Tashena. I'm like, this girl must have been so annoyed with me because I was so annoyed with her. I'm like, no, you do it yourself. But I was like that at one point too. I'm still like that, right? But
yeah, but we don't get annoyed at all. Like I said, we know that it's our job to give and to train people because this is not normal.
Can I offer a couple of suggestions of what to say to people?
yes.
Because the reality is, you know, when we have 2 or 3 people, 4 or 5 people, that kind of works. But when you start getting hundreds of people, that doesn't work anymore. So a couple things I've done is when I first started, I tell a personal story. When I first started, I called customer service for everything. People simply don't know oftentimes. So I just simply will say, you know, when I first got started, I called customer service and they were so helpful for me. So I want you to know that you have them as a resource too, and they can help you with this, that, or the other. You can make a call or you know, just inform people, or you can go on live chat. And if you have any problems, any issues or any questions beyond that, then give me a call. So that's one thing that I've said to people. The other thing is, because people understand that we are talking to a lot of people. Oftentimes people understand that. But I will just kind of simply say, you know what? The best part of this is you can go online and you can place these orders for yourself just like I do. So I related to, hey, you can do what I do. You can just go online, you have your own account, but here's the key phrases. The good news is, so put that before everything. The good news is you have your own account. And that's what makes this so cool, is because you don't have to wait on me to be able to get to you. You have access to your own account. And so that's another way that I will phrase things. And then another way that I might, if I choose, to order for that person. And sometimes I have done it. I'll say, yes, I can do that for you this time. But the good news is you have your own account. And so I'm going to help walk you through that, make sure you know how to do that so that you can bypass the middle person, which is me. You can bypass me, go in there and do it. So we want to empower people. We want people to feel empowered. You know, I get it. I like people to do stuff for me too, right? So people like you to do stuff for them. But you might make that choice at the beginning and then say, but the good news is this is all at your fingertips as well. And then go on for that. So we just kind of, it's part of their learning and it's part of our learning of how to teach them in the right way, right? So it's all learning, right? So we can be very grateful that they're coming to us so we can learn how to teach them to do things for themselves.
One of my favorite things to do when people are in their beginning in that 90 days when I'm running with them is when they ask me pretty much any question, I say, oh yeah, fantastic, open your phone. And I will walk them through while they're holding their phone. I will show them how they're going to place an order. And I want to change my essential rewards. I don't know what to do. Sweet, open up your phone. So I'm teaching them where to go. And if you do that just in that first beginning, it really makes it really easy. Even if somebody were to say to me, oh, can you just order it for me? I'd be like, absolutely, open your phone. And I would sign them up to be able to order their own stuff. So it just kind of takes the pressure off of me, and they'll know how to do it next time. And even more importantly, they'll know how to do it for their people because it just kind of rolls on down.
Can I add something really quick? Is that okay? This is my first time, so I'm not sure how these all run, but just with Sheila and kind of all these amazing tips, but something that's really great that I learned to do because it was done to me, and then I do it with the people on my team too. And I feel like it's so empowering because I'm such a believer that education is how we empower ourselves. Our wellness is so personal. How the things we're interested in are so personal. And when we can learn about those things, it's really when we become empowered. But when you start, you're like this little lost oil thing, right? You don't know where to go. So I would ask like all the questions. And then when myself and my enroller together would find the answer, she would then ask me to go into the education groups and post what my problem was and what the solution was, and like how I came across the solution, whether I called customer service or I did this or did that. And what that did was twofold. One, in our education group now, when somebody searches in it and has a similar problem, there's a resource for them. And two, it just ripped the Band-Aid off and got me to share in a group, which then ultimately I learned, oh, that's not hard. Oh, I just talked about oils. That's not hard. And then I start talking about it. And, you know, for a lot of people, when you do that with them, a lot of them turn business because they're like, oh, this isn't so scary. So it was just like a little trick that I learned. And then now as a builder, a lot of those people now know how to find answers themselves first, and then come to me as kind of a last resort. So.
Yeah, I definitely do that as well. I mean, I have so many videos that are resources. It's very rare that people ask me questions and I can't shoot them over a video. So I remember there was a diamond that said, never teach something more than once. So if I get a question a second time, that means I need a tool. I got to know where a blog article is. I got to know if I get the question more than once, there has to be a tool that will teach someone about it. So Susan put in the chat, she did a lot of things wrong when she started her business. How can she reignite her passion for current members and find new members?
You want to go first?
I can. I think, like, if you did certain things wrong, apologize for it. I mean, I think everyone has done that, right? Some of us have let life get in the way. I know, like, I've been in the business for 5 years and I went through a really messy divorce. And there were times where I had to dip out for like 3 minutes or 3 months rather. And I just came back to my team and said, hey, I apologize. I haven't been around for 3 months. This is what's going on. So communication. And then beyond that, just what Shannon stated, we have to talk to new people every day. Like you find new members by talking to 2 new people every day. So in this environment, what I'm personally doing, I go to Zoom parties, I'm in all these groups, and I'm making friends. And literally, I connect with these people, and then they see my stories, and then I'll be in a group and someone else shouts me out. Like somebody will say something, they'll be like, oh, Tashena can help with that. And I'm like, yes, I can. Would you like some samples? So just communication and connection.
And then I also want to say you need to change that perspective because you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. There is no wrong way to build your business. There are things that are more effective. There are things that are more, that just kind of will flow and are more duplicatable. It's not necessarily wrong. So you need the picture of if you had 100 people in your team, statistically speaking, in Young Living, only less than 1% of the people ever go to gold, right? So like 4% make it to executive. So if you have 100 people, if you have 1 to 4 people that are actually active and chit-chatting and thinking about sharing, you're statistically normal. That is just how the numbers work. So if you're sitting there with a team of 20 and you're like, nobody's doing anything, well, maybe you're the only one. Like that's the percentages. So we think, oh, I did something wrong. I can't jumpstart these people. They're not doing what I think they should do. But maybe they're just not the ones. They're the users. You're just going to love on them, let them be users, and keep adding more because you're going to find the ones that will like this, that will share this, that will duplicate it. That's what you're looking for. And everybody else is just a part of the family. They're just going to love and cuddle and probably never tell a soul. It's okay. It's normal. You didn't do it wrong. You just found a way that didn't work. Now you're going to try another way. You're just going to keep twisting and playing. I'm constantly changing. And like Tashena said, if something goes down, I had literally 3 months where I was in the hospital, a total of 6 months where I had 0 it was like crickets. Like I was not involved in any way, shape, or form. And a good 1.5 years where my body, my health was going down the tube and I knew it. So I barely did anything. But yet when everything was well and I came back and I said, hey guys, and the reason why, you know why I could come back and have a team pumping and my tech still happened is because I was willing to put in the work when I was well, before stuff happened. So put it in now, get that going on now. Don't wait till tomorrow because you don't know what next week will bring. I'm just saying.
That's good, Shannon. I just want to affirm and high five you. That's good.
Yep. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. That's it. Those are the only options. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Yep.
All right, we are 9 minutes over. Any last minute questions? If not, we will close it out and the replay will be available in the event as well as on my YouTube, and it's available for anyone to share.
Tashena, Sonia has a question.
Okay.
Okay. Didn't know if this was a good time to ask it, but I'm interested in doing a YouTube video. No, just a short one. But my biggest thing is compliance, making sure that I don't say the wrong thing that can be challenging. So I just wanted to know if anybody had any tips on how to do it compliantly.
So we have lots of tools to teach on compliance. So I can definitely grab the tools that we have in the virtual office as well as I have a video on it.
And I want to throw this out. First of all, hoo-ha that you're going to go do it. I think that is so awesome because most people are terrified to go out and do that. So the fact that you're thinking about it, that is huge. Here's the other thing. If you screw it up and you are totally non-compliant, you can delete it. Go on there, share what you want, be authentically you, share your story, work on being compliant. And if you afterwards you listen to it, you go, that wasn't okay. It's okay, delete it and do it again. I cannot tell you how many things I have had to delete, take down, stop, or say in the middle of a live class, oh crap, don't copy that. That was a horrible thing to say, because it comes out. It's okay. Don't let that fear stop you from doing what you have been called to do. You just start sharing, you do you. That's awesome.
Okay.
So Carrie, just start doing videos. Like there's no, I mean, you can just start doing the YouTube videos and then you can YouTube tips on doing YouTube videos, but just start. Like there's no, my YouTube is not stylized. It's actually lives that it's a holding place for the lives that I do. One day I'm going to get to the point where I hire someone to stylize them, but I'm not even there yet. And I still have 600 people subscribed and I still get 20 views on every video. So just start. That's the first step.
Exactly. Just start. Same thing with me. I am diamond. I don't have anyone making any of it pretty. I just record. I do my thing. Sometimes I got notes all over. I just share. I'm just me, authentically me, and people will be drawn to you because of your personality. So people that will like you and what you have to say might be like, oh, that Shannon girl, she drives me crazy. That's okay, because they're going to be drawn to different people. That's why so many of us can be successful in so many different ways. So just go do it. Don't let that stop you.
Well, alrighty, guys. I thank everyone for joining us, and thank you again, Shannon and Sheila, so much for sharing with us, and Ashley and everyone else that dropped some tips in here. And I appreciate everyone. Again, the video will be available for everyone to share that may need it. And everyone have an amazing day. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks again. Bye.
Everything.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks to Sheena for putting this all together.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.